My name is Katie. I'm the Chief Executive of Engineers Without Borders UK. We're an amazing organisation that is set up to engage and galvanise the engineering community to make sure that it's serving all people on the planet better than ever before. I had no idea what engineering was about when I grew up. Just nowhere in my kind of frame of reference. None of my family are engineers, etc., etc. So for me, I was really lucky to get involved in an educational outreach program. I had a really strong penny dropping moment where I was like, oh my God, I can use my maths and sciencey side of my brain, I can use the creative, artistic side of my brain, and I can do something positive for the planet. I can be an engineer. For me, my engineering degree didn't really live up to my expectations of I'm going to become an engineer and I'm going to do amazing things. It was very dry, very theoretical, not really much about how I can use my skills, my expertise, my understanding to make an impact on the world. So for me, it was in my third year at university. As you do, go around Freshers' Fair looking for freebies, and my housemate said to me, I think you'd be really interested in this over here, it's about engineering, and I was like, yeah right, whatever. But I went over, it was the first year of the Engineers Without Borders branch at my university, and immediately I was hooked. My involvement in Engineers Without Borders UK really brought home to me the social side of engineering. So, seeing firsthand how people on this planet lack access to things like clean water, like sanitation, etc. And that ultimately that's an engineering barrier. It's engineering that can overcome those things. So Engineers Without Borders really shaped my career in terms of bringing that environmental interest, but also that social justice piece together into one place. We've achieved some amazing things. We can send people to the moon. We can live in space where we were never meant to live. We can build buildings that are hundreds of meters high, which is amazing. But unfortunately, we're also having a negative impact on the planet. Whilst we're doing all this damage to the planet, there are still people who lack access to basic infrastructure to give them a good quality of life. It's engineers that have put us in this position in the first place, and it's engineers that are going to help us solve that problem. So it has to be engineers that take responsibility for showing us the options, showing us the alternatives, showing us the way of how we can live better on the planet. That's why I believe globally responsible engineering is so important. What we really need is for them to be inspired by the fact that they can use their skills and expertise to make a difference. We need them to be equipped, so it's all well and good being aware and being inspired, but you need the skills, the understanding and the know-how to put that into practice. But it's not just about the engineers of the future, it's about the engineers of today as well. We talk about the Sustainable Development Goals. They need to be achieved by 2030, which is only 11 years now. If we only focus on the engineers of the futures, we're going to miss those goals, because it's engineers in practice today that are the ones that are going to help us achieve that sustainability, to achieve those goals. First and foremost, my advice is to wake up. You have a real opportunity to make a difference, regardless of how influential you think you are in your day-to-day. Each and every single action, we know, there are currently nearly 8 billion people on the planet. There's going to be 10 billion by 2050. Each and every single one of us, the tiny actions that we make add up to a massive, massive impact. And if you are in a position of power, if you are in a position of influence, then I think just starting to think more about how you're making a difference for the long term.